Hello and welcome. Let's look at the Fool in various tarot decks through history. So first we have the Fool in the Tarocchi Visconti Sforza by Meneghello. This one is from Milan, 1450, and as we can see here, he is looking like he's going through a rough period. His clothes and shoes are tattered, he's got feathers in his hair. He just doesn't look like he's having a good time of it. This is Il Mato from the Sola Busca tarot, although my version of this by Lo Scarabeo, the box says Tarot Alchimistico, the alchemical tarot. So it's probably a few years old. I don't know if that is still in print, but I'm sure you can find it somewhere. And there are other versions of this as well. And here he's still looking a little bit rough. His shoes or boots or socks are worn away. His clothes are tattered. And here we see him playing musical instrument accompanied by a bird who looks like he's about to pick his eye out. And still got the feathers. The Sola Busca is roughly from around the 1470s or 1480s. This is the Fool from the Tarot de Paris, early 1600s. Here he starts to look more like that court jester. He's got the two colored outfit, bells and tassels hanging from it, and the pointy shoes, and he's got a baton that has sort of something that looks like a court jester on it. This is the Fool from the Tarot of Jacques Viéville by Joseph Peterson. This was made by a French card maker in roughly 1650, but it is in the Flemish style. And here he is still looking like a court jester with different colored outfit and the cap, but he doesn't have those tassels and bells on this one, and he's got his stick where he's carrying his belongings. This is Le Fou from the Tarot de Marseille. This is the Noble by Fleur de Noy. And again, looking like that court jester, looking off in the distance, not really concerned by the fact that he's got an animal going at him. This is the Fool from the Tarocco di Besançon by Meneghello. This one is from the 1700s, I believe, and it's a Swiss pattern. Again, looking like that court jester, off in the distance, he's going somewhere. He does look a little bit cheery compared to some of the others, but he seems very unconcerned that there is some furry creature biting him. This is Il Mato from the ancient Italian tarot by Lo Scarabeo, a sopraffina style. One of the reasons that I really like this one is because he is looking right at us. His clothes are tattered. He still has something that remains of a previous life, perhaps as a court jester, but he is definitely on his way somewhere else. And here we have the Fool from Matea. One of the reasons that I like this one too is because although he does look like a court jester still with those clothes, the colors, and his cap with the bells, and he's covering his eyes. It's like there's something he doesn't want to see. And another reason that I like it is because although we sometimes talk about the Fool being at the beginning or the end of the tarot, this one actually is at the end. He's number 78. And here we have the Fool from the tarot deck that changed everything, the Rider-Waite Smith. This one is the Centennial edition. This is by, of course, A.E. Waite and Pamela Coleman Smith, published in 1909. And this one just takes on a much more refined appearance and puts the Fool at the mountain, at the edge of the mountain, kind of looking up, holding a flower. It adds just a lot more symbolism to it. Now, the Waite still retained some of the previous meanings associated with this card, such as madness and folly. We still have that with this deck at this point. And so here we have the Thoth deck by Crowley and Lady Frida-Harris that came out in the late 60s. And of course, now we have the influence of things like the Golden Dawn and Crowley's own ideas. So he changes this a little bit. Like in this deck, this card is now associated with ideas and thoughts and spirituality and transcendence in a way that it wasn't really before, I don't think. Although when it's ill-dignified, it retains some of its negative associations. And then here is the Fool from the Modern Witch Tarot deck by Lisa Sturrell. And although it looks a lot like the Fool from Waite and Pixie, it takes on a completely different meaning in this deck. Even according to the booklet, this card is associated with passion and optimism, leaving normalcy behind, spontaneity, all good things actually. And it encourages you to take the leap. And I think that those meanings definitely could apply to this card. I can read it like that sometimes. I think the bigger question sometimes is, just because this card comes out and it tells you to take a leap, encourages you to take a leap, should you really take that leap? Questions, comments, feedback, let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching.